This is the Hammerfisting Podcast.
You go to see the UFC show. You don't go to see if the main event's great, icing. I think that's my perception.
Yeah, no,
but it's like if you have the whole number system. What are the numbers on now? Are they in the 300s or what is it?
What do you mean?
The pay-per-view number, UFC twos.
Yeah,
low twos. But it's like you don't talk about it like I went to see UFC. I went to go see Lesnar versus. It's like I went to UFC 198, and that's like ideally you get the best fights possible, or the one that was advertised originally. But you got your ticket for UFC 198. That's you're going to go see UFC 198 no matter who's fighting.
And the thing that I find fascinating with the whole WME IMG thing, pertaining to what you're saying, from an analytical standpoint and from a fiscal standpoint, is the fact that WME IMG, they're an agency that deals with Hollywood. They deal with movies, and I feel like their economic model is going to be structured kind of like what movie studios do. Like they have their big tentpole movie, like say the Avengers for Marvel Disney. That's their big summer blockbuster that comes out the 4th of July weekend or whenever. But then they have other movies that they
Memorial
know.
Day.
Yeah, exactly. They got a couple of romantic.
We want to get nerdy.
They got a couple of romantic comedies that they know aren't going to break the bank, but they're like, all right, we're going to make some money on this. Whereas the UFC had UFC 205, UFC 200. Those two cards were their big tentpole events, and now they're going to have cards that they know are going to not be breaking the any sort of records as far as pay-per-view revenue, but they're going to be able to look at their spreadsheet and say at the end of the year, well, look at all these events, 6 or 7 of these UFCs that were whatever subpar on paper made us this amount of profit, and then our big tentpole events made us the chunk of our financial revenue.
The real comedy analogy in there too, and those are like the kind of the subpar non-tentpole events. Those are the headlining weeks guys like me and you get.
Yes.
Well, some guy who has 3 million YouTube hits but isn't funny can come in and sell a bunch of tickets and make him money.
Yes.
You're telling me about a guy that
that was bitter unnecessarily. I added the not funny part for no reason. I could have just said popular.
That the same guy that you were talking about?
I mean, he's one of 1,000 dudes that if you are famous on YouTube, they don't care. They will sign you to a deal, and they will make you. Yeah,
they should. People buy tickets.
I was telling him that story about how that one Asian kid from Canada, they asked me if I could and they're like, he's gonna do 15 minutes. You do an hour, and I remember this kid, it was his first time doing stand up, and he was terrified, and I felt so bad.
Until
this kid sold out.
But he made $20,000 for the weekend. You made $500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And it was but they did.
That kid can suck my tent pole.